guys, welcome once again to this panel chat on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Finally, we have officially come to the end of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 6. It was a very long run, very, very long. But I'm happy we came to an end and looking forward to the you know, next picture and next storyline for the next season of The Marriage Huntsville. Firstly, before we go ahead and talk about the reunion part 3, how do you guys feel about the finale episode of this reunion? Did it give you what you wanted, or is it just like, it was a waste of time for them to have a part 3?
I'd say 50-50. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave me what I wanted. I wanted a little bit more. But,
Yeah.
it was basically same old, same old. Same old arguments, same old, let's bring this back up. And, let's shake this over here. So it was basically kind of the same. That they didn't really do too much of anything a whole lot different other than bringing in the mama and the little cousin.
Yeah, I thought it was the same. It was fair. They didn't need the cousin, but it was fair. It was okay.
But other than that, I felt everybody looked great on stage. You know,
Oh,
um,
sorry, I didn't know I was on mute. I was saying
oh,
that I
that's
felt
okay.
like I felt like it was all over the place. Um, I felt like, yes, I know that there were some conversations that we needed to get the ending, and which we did, but still, it was kind of scattered. Like they weren't going in a sequence. Just like we talked about this person from nowhere, we're jumping to this person. It was giving confusion to me. Like I had to keep up really good to be able to understand what was going on in the episode. Well, in general, I'm happy that we were able to get through another reunion of Love and Marriage Huntsville without any disaster. Like, well, talking about the reunion, we got to see in the beginning, the beginning side, the the final showdown between Miss Betty and Melody. A lot of people were saying that Miss Betty put herself in a situation where she gave herself up to be disrespected. And I do believe that because the way she was coming off, like after she did say that, uh, what statement did she make? Like, oh, you are still arguing with your man you've been divorced for 3 years. I felt like she was like everything, all bets were off, and she was like, at this moment, if in my mind, I said, at this moment, if Melody should give you or insult you, you deserve it because why should you be poking around issues that ain't concern you? In short, even if Melody and Stormy does have issues, they are grown ass women. They're not kids. I believe that they should be the one to resolve their issues by themselves, not you as an elderly woman to impute yourself in that conversation or impute yourself in that quarrel, and not even in a way of maturity. I would understand if you're trying to like mediate between the two of them, that's a different thing. But you were trying to like be like, oh, I don't like you. I used to not like the way you move, but now I don't like you. Like, why would your like matter to Melody? Like the way she said it as if her likeness to Melody should matter. And I was like, ma'am, you've been on this Facebook groups. And truthfully, if you be on these Facebook groups, you know that people make up stories, people, you know, form their own storylines, give their own opinions. So why should Melody be the one going on to those groups and being like, "Oh, your opinions are wrong, your opinions are not right"? I felt like this Facebook group or whatever thing, this Twitter issue was unnecessary. It was over escalated. It was not supposed to be have extended. The quarrel, the beef between Melody and Stormy over this issue shouldn't have escalated. But I understand that okay, Stormy was facing a lot of backlash. People were, according to her, people were closing down her for her business, for her stuff to be closed down from so many malls. But I can understand that for Stormy getting pissed off. Why is the mom trying to impute herself? And you've gone through stages of life, which people believe that you should be matured enough to handle situation and try to be good in mediating situations. And she did a very poor job because the way she mediated this issue, even if Stormy did not have um even if Stormy did not have any issues before with Melody, the way she reacted, the way the words she did use would make Stormy want to have or want make Stormy want to react to Melody. That's just how I felt. And I want to give a kudos to Melody because she still, no matter how pissed off she was, she tried not to, branch into the insultive part. She still tried. It was, I know it was very hard. She still tried not to go that low because I'm pretty sure if it was some other ladies in that cast, they would have gone pretty low and given it to Miss Betty, and it would have been another storyline like, oh, she's rude. She was rude to Miss Betty, blah blah blah. But sometimes I believe that when you impute yourself or give yourself when you give yourself allowance to be insulted, you should take it. Because if Miss Betty was sitting down on her lane, sitting down in her house, Melody would not come, or anybody or else in that cast would not come and insult her or say anything to her. Even Stormy did understand that. If you see the way Stormy was behaving, the way Stormy was trying to tell her mom to, keep quiet, she knew that Miss Betty has gone overboard, and she is going overboard. I didn't just like Miss Betty and the way she reacted and the way she acted in this reunion.
Well, my thing with Miss Betty is like just stay out of it. For one, you're on that platform because of Melody. You know what I'm saying? Because of her friendship, Melody's friendship with Stormy, you're Stormy's mom, you know, and they opened up a space for you. So you wouldn't be on that stage if it wasn't for Melody. Like Stormy said, and I'm glad that she said it, you know, this is Melody's thing. You know what I'm saying? This whole platform, everybody you see on that stage is because of her, you know? So honestly, I felt like she should have just, stayed out of it because she still didn't prove her point. Whatever her point was, she still didn't prove her point, you know. And yes, you do still have problems with in your immediate family. You get your shit straight before you start coming for mine. You know what I'm saying? Because that was totally none of her business. But she wanted to insert herself because she had nowhere to go next. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad Melody didn't give her any energy back. You know, it's almost like, what do they say? Feed feed a cold and starve a fever, or it was starve a fever and feed a cold. Either way, you know what I'm saying? When you get negativity like that, just a ball of it, you don't give it any energy. So it just dies out. You know what I'm saying? I've been in those situations, and I've noticed if I give it energy, it takes off. I mean, flame set. And I'm hard to control once I'm in that stage, you know? So it's best for, people who have tempers to don't give it no energy. And I'm I'm glad Melody did exactly that because it shut her down. She had nothing else to talk about, did she? Yeah. But that's all I have to say about that part.
Yeah, it seems like Miss Betty wanted to have a problem with Melody from the beginning, and I believe Stormy mentioned that or the mom, or maybe the mom mentioned that she's a fan of the show. So
Yeah.
she probably, yeah, so she probably never liked her from the beginning. And, because remember the other time, was it the tea that they had where she mentioned her problem was when Mel visited the house, the comment she made about Stormy's baby, about him
Right.
being spoiled. So now she didn't mention that this time around. Now it's the fans because you didn't clear it up. Like, what? And then I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. It was very immature. Like, some of the people are making comments in the comments saying, yeah, very immature. Like she said,
Yeah.
you could be my mother. And
Yeah.
then she said that, did you hear when she said to Miss Betty, you call your daughter bees?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can somebody explain
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
Explain that. Do you guys
Yeah.
recall her? What was
probably that'll be outside the show, because
okay.
they
Okay.
were quite kind of close before, Stormy and Melody. Melody, I think Melody was, I think, at one time her brand ambassador for her business,
Mm-hmm.
all this while. So I feel like maybe it's something she has witnessed, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say that might be true. That is alleged right now because Melody just said it. But with the way Miss Betty speaks, I don't think it's gonna be that far fetched to realize that she might be that. And of course, we've heard it from Stormy herself saying the way she was, trained, the way she grew up, the B word is like,
Normal.
so
It's
exactly.
normal.
So
Yeah.
I really don't see that being far from the truth.
True.
She might just have tried not to be that very obvious with it, because sometimes we know reality TV shows, everybody's trying to be on the table, trying to be like, okay, I'm the cool-headed one, I'm the nice one, I'm the calm-headed one, I'm not that of a headache. So I feel like she maybe tried to control herself very well on the show to not be as that kind of person that says that word regularly a lot. So that's just what I say. I don't see it not being the truth. I'm not sure that's the truth actually, but I also, if I'm to guess, if I'm to place my money on it, I will go for yes. There's a probability.
I don't think Melody would just say it just to say it. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't hear it several times herself. You know what I'm saying? And if you kind of look at the character of Miss Betty, of course, it seemed like those words probably fly freely out of her mouth. You know what I'm saying? And like, why would you call your daughter, your princess, something so ratchet? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And in front of company.
Well, even in silence between the both of you, or even under her breath, I would never. You know what I'm saying? And I would break somebody's neck, try and pull their tongue out their mouth if they ever said that about any one of my daughters. Because I don't play that. I don't like them words, and it has meaning. You know what I'm saying? Every bad word is a curse on your body. And I don't want nobody throwing curses at my children. So shame on you, Miss Betty. You my age.
Yeah. But overall, I was glad the way Melody handled it. I was so glad because I don't think every other person would have handled it as best as Melody tried. And tomorrow someone will come and say Melody is being rude. Like, how? The fact that she expected herself, what even pissed me off about Miss Betty is that she expected to be so rude to Melody. Then the way she was coming, this is my opinion, right? From a viewer's perspective, just my opinion. The way I saw Miss Betty was that she expected to be very rude at Melody. Then if Melody comes rude at her, to be like, oh, she would now call out Melody's rudeness. Like sometimes I believe that you should also take the same energy that you give to people. If you want to come at me with one energy and I give you back that energy, accept it. Don't be acting brown new when I return back the same energy you're giving to me. And when Melody, I think what ticked Miss Betty off was when Melody gave her the same energy she came with, but in a more respectful way, as a respectful way. And that's why Stormy could not also talk because she knew that Melody was only trying to defend herself and still trying with every inch in her body to respect Miss Betty. She tried.
Right, she did. She did.
Mhm.
Because Stormy didn't get upset. Stormy, surprisingly, she didn't get upset. What could she say? She saw the way her mother was behaving. It was so uncalled for.
Yeah, and then she even screamed. What did she even scream? I played that over and over and over, just trying to catch that. I just like, what was that? you know, the heck, jeez. It was like she was getting beside herself. Like, did she take her pills? Yeah, I know she had to have high blood pressure after that. Like, they should have gave her some water, a fan, turned her mic
Something.
off.
Something, right.
you
Tisha
know.
had a fan. Tisha had a fan.
Oh, did she?
Oh my god. I was really happy how it went. And how did you guys feel about how did you guys feel about when Carlos asked sorry, I said Destiny. When Carlos asked Tommy how his her relationship right now with Melody. How did you feel about the answer? Because I felt it was like a political answer.
I must have like didn't hear that part.
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Carlos did ask her. Did you get that part, Chevrolet?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't really get a clear answer. I just heard Stormy say, "I like you," or did she say, "I like you, I do," or "I did like you"?
I do like
I
you.
do like you. Okay,
Yeah.
do or did? I don't
I,
remember
I,
which one.
I did.
She
I
said,
I
did
I
did.
hear a
do
little.
Okay,
like
I
you.
do like you. Okay,
Yeah, I did hear a little bit of that, but it wasn't a significant part where it was gonna be brandished in my brain. You know what I'm saying?
right, right. Yeah, yeah. That's just really sad because when we were first to them, like really cool, seemed to be okay. Nice seeing them work. Now it's just like, uh,
I feel like the both of them could be a good team if they just because I feel this storyline is just too um this storyline is just too over excessive. So I feel like they can be a great team, Stormy and Melody, if I just feel like that. But did you get the part where she was like, Melody, you made this, like you made this. When she was talking about how Melody, like the way she was talking about her business, and she attributed Melody to being the one that made Love of Marriage Huntsville what it is.
Yeah, and
Did
I'm
you
I'm
get that
glad.
part?
Yeah, I'm glad that
I
she
was
did
so
say that.
glad because a lot of them on that couch tend to forget that singular fact. I think a lot of them, Shepherd, are you back?
yes, I'm back. I'm hearing an echo. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're talking about the fact the place where where Stormy was like, "Oh, Melody, you did this." We're like trying to attribute the success of Law and Marriage Huntsville to Melody. Did you get that part when she said that? Oh wow, I think there's problems with her. So I love that she said that because a lot of, like I was saying before, a lot of people on that couch tend to forget that and tend to like be like they made themselves who they are today, or they just woke up in the morning and became who they are. I'm not saying that you should worship the feet melody works on or the flow melody works on, but at least acknowledge the fact that, at least if not for this lady, at least it happens, because sometimes I remember I do things and I'm like, if not because of this um thing, if not because of my friend pushed me to do this, if not because my friend was persistent in me doing this, I would not be where I am today, or I wouldn't have what I have today. At least just a little bit. So I was happy that she said that. um I was happy to see that. Miss Mermaid said, "Hi, Miss Mermaid." She said that part was nice. That part was really, really nice. Um, that part was really nice. I love that she said that. Then moving forward,
That they didn't feel that that was genuine coming from Stormy, and that Stormy was still trying to just be on the show.
I also noticed it. Like, okay, I noticed something. A lot of people were saying it on the charts, on Twitter, and the rest, that they felt like um Stormy came with a very high energy when it came to Latisha and proving her point to Latisha. When it came to Melody, her tone changed. She was trying to be more political. She was trying not to hurt Melody's feelings a lot. And that didn't really look genuine. Like the way she came at Latisha should have been the same way she came at Melody. That would have been understandable then. A lot of people were saying that on the streets of Twitter and all other social media. Well, probably she knows that she could easily pass across her information to Melody than when she wants to pass across an information to Latisha, because some people will be receiving information differently. Just the way I will let you know, okay, I want you to do this, might be different from the way I let another person know, because you might react differently. So I feel like that was the situation, that she knew that, okay, if I should tell Melody this is how it is, she would understand and come with me with the same energy, and we can have a civil conversation, and at least I have somebody else listening. But when it came to Latisha, she knows that Latisha might not come with that same energy. That's why I felt like the energy she came with Latisha was different from the energy she came with Melody. But I also feel like it was also political. She was just trying to be on the good side as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think it may be a little bit of both because of like what she and Betty were discussing, that the encounter that they had with, and I still don't understand this recording. I have not been able to get clarification on this whole recording thing that Destiny played. I don't understand it, you guys. Anyway, um, she was saying that the fans were coming after her business, and so calling these stores or whatever. And so, they felt that Melody should have said something, but that would have required her to look at all, what, 300, 500, 600, 800 comments under her. What sense does that make? So I'm supposed to be policing all of these comments and telling people, don't put
The
this in the
comment was
comment.
not even on Melody's post. It was on a group, a Facebook group.
Explain that to me, please. Please explain it.
It was on a Facebook group. You know, when you go on Facebook, there's so many groups on Facebook about love and marriage. Some dedicated to loving Melody, some dedicated to just loving the show, some dedicated to hating on Melody. So it was when the episode dropped and Melody said that somebody recorded her, because I remember the episode. So people were on the comments, they usually, whenever the show is, the groups, the pages, they are always hot. Everybody's always typing, giving their own opinion, saying what they feel. So a lot of people were of the opinion that it was Stormy. I remember then Melody used to do this Twitter live tweeting whenever the episode was
Yeah.
airing. So
Yes.
Melody tweeted like, "This is why I don't let people into my house because of things like this." So a lot of people
Okay.
now, everybody was now forming. Everybody's free to get their opinions. We ourselves, we have our opinions about certain things that happen on the show, right? So a lot of people there were of the opinion like, oh, watching the show, if you're watching the show directly and watching Melody's live tweets, you'll be like, okay, the only person that was shown to us on the show, really, truthfully, at that moment was Stormy. Stormy was the only one that came to her house when she was, I think, then in that scene, she brought in a masseuse, that she was having a massage when Stormy came in. So watching the show live, then listening to what Melody has to say on her tweets, you would guess that it was Stormy. So a lot of them were of the opinion that it was Stormy that recorded this because her and Stormy actually did have that conversation. So everybody was on the opinion that it was Stormy. So my question is, why would Melody be going on these Facebook groups to be answering or debunking or correcting everybody's opinion? It is called a Facebook group for a reason.
Okay. Thank you.
It's called a Facebook page for a reason. People are there to be fans of the show. It's there for you to give your opinion and listen to what other people have to say about what your opinions are. So she too was on that group and saw the comment the person made, and you were expecting Melody to come down from her own Instagram account that she has not even been able to handle. In Melody's Instagram, how many comments does she have to read through? She hasn't been able to handle that. You expect her to now jump into the Facebook groups.
How come Miss Betty didn't do it?
And
As she's seen it. As
thank you
she's
for
seen it.
explaining. So she's in the groups then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she's in
thank
the
you for
groups.
explaining it. I didn't know it was a
I'm also
Facebook group thing. Thank you.
I'm also on those groups, so I used to see Miss Betty's comments and stuffs about Melody. So when everything was playing live, I was watching, like I was there on those groups, so I knew everything. So when she came here and was saying, I'm like, how would Melody go to the Facebook groups and start trying to debunk? When she heard about it, she now debunked it on her Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yes, Melody came out and was like, no, she wasn't talking about Melody. She wasn't talking about Stormy.
Stormy.
So then why is Betty still upset if she did debunk it?
That's why people be saying it was just a storyline. They thought, because
Okay.
the thing is that Miss Betty has been on these groups, and if you be on these groups, there are some groups that are dedicated haters group of Melody.
Mm.
There are some groups that are dedicated lovers of Melody. You just can't say anything bad about Melody on those groups. There are some groups that are 50-50. You can air your opinions. Now she is on these groups and she knows what they want. So I felt like she came with that mentality. Okay, I've been on this group. I've seen how people talk. So since I cannot appeal to Melody's, lovers, let me appeal to the haters, and I know what they want. So let me just come for Melody because it's even Stormy herself. How many times have she debunked or correct anything being said about other people that she referred to in about the other cast members? How does she go through her comment sections or read through her comment section? Who does? How many people do that? So she came from those groups already realizing what she would do to make herself probably loved or liked. When you go to those dedicated ones that really hate Melody or dislike Melody, let me not use that word, it's very harsh. Those ones that really dislike Melody, you would, and she's on those groups. She's on those groups.
Oh,
She has made comments on those groups.
thank you so much. Who, Betty or Storm? Miss Betty or Stormy?
Betty, come
Okay.
on.
So her mom is very active. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she's very active on the groups. Very, very. Well, then we got to I felt like this was unnecessary because did he speak up to have any sentence? Like, why did they ask him to get into these suits, dress up, and be on the stage? That's my question. What was the necessity?
And who paid his airfare? That's what I want to know. Like, did they really spend money on bringing
Exactly.
him there?
I don't know, but if you listen to what Miss Betty said, she said it was a rough day, so maybe they called an Amtrak. I don't know.
Not the Amtrak.
I don't
Not
know.
the Amtrak.
You'd have thought that she would have got in early, had a good night's rest. I mean, because she looked beautiful. Her makeup was nice. Her outfit, her dress was cute and appropriate for her.
Her hair was gorgeous.
Yeah. So I didn't understand. As beautiful as she was sitting there looking, why was she so mean? Gosh.
And he only said about 11, maybe 12 words. He could have phoned that
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Well, don't forget the 360.
Oh, when he turned around and showed off the suit?
Yeah.
I
Total
didn't understand
waste.
why he was on the stage. It was so unnecessary, so unwarranted.
You know what? Now that I think
Wait,
about it, when we talked about
yeah,
that last time, when remember you asked about the suit, somebody left a
yeah.
comment. Somebody left a comment saying that he was there because the aunt didn't want to come. Do you remember we saw that comment? Somebody left a comment under that
Oh,
Yeah,
because
video.
his
Yes.
his mother didn't
yes.
want to come. His
Yes,
mother,
somebody left that comment. How did they know that?
Some of them
maybe
be having like if you go to these Facebook groups, some of them be having info, and you're like, where is it coming from?
Exactly. Where is it coming from?
but Miss
and
Betty
and
did. Well,
Carlos did
Carlos
say,
did. Didn't Carlos say that Miss Betty's sister didn't want to come?
Yeah, but he didn't say it
yes.
until yesterday. This person left the comment last week.
Right.
So how did they know that?
Mm,
Maybe they
they be showing
know
some things.
Stormy's family.
Yeah, you just never know who's leaving comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it be the family members themselves.
Yeah.
It could be the family members
It
themselves.
could
And
have been him. It may have been him.
when he was asked why, I didn't even know he stopped because I noticed that when they said they employed him back, they never did show him. And I was also asking this question in the episode where they were trying to do the reconciliation between Miss Betty and her sister. She took another of her cousin, right? I kept on
Mhm.
asking why that person, why didn't they just bring him along? So he really did not stay. Are you all buying the story? Like he was a hired back, but he didn't stay. Now he's a manager in a restaurant,
I
and she
don't
was
know.
crying like you could have been a manager in
Manager
my
for his
company.
right. But I thought we saw a scene where the husband said he hired him back. Didn't Courtney hire him back?
Yeah, he did. He did say he had. Then Stormy was like, "Wow, you hired him back. Are you sure you're making the right decision?" And he said, "Yes, we've had a conversation."
Okay.
So I was surprised all these storylines coming up in the reunion that he didn't stay.
Oh, that he didn't stay.
And
Okay. Hmm.
yeah, he said he didn't stay. He left, and she was crying because she was like, "Oh, now you're not a manager in a restaurant."
You know what? That's kind of strange too because she was on Instagram Live. Somebody caught the video where she was filming her music video. She has a song, and then
Yeah.
she deleted the live, but someone sent it. And as soon as she finished recording, she said, "Where's Junior?" That's him, right? Isn't his name Junior?
Junior.
Yeah. So what was he doing on set of filming the music video? That's like that was odd.
Like the storyline is giving what's going on here. What is this? I don't trust. I don't trust what they are giving out. I don't trust what they are saying. Like from nowhere, he was hired. Now he decided not to work. He said he decided not to be slave to the paycheck. He wants to work on their relationship. I get the fact that he wants to work on their relationship as cousins, but I still don't get it. I don't know why.
I don't know. Maybe the young man just wanted to prove himself out in this world that hey, he could get money other than getting a handout. Maybe he felt like at this point it's a handout. It's starting too much
Okay.
confusion between my mom and my aunt. That
Okay.
they're bickering about it. Let me get out here and see what I can do on my own. And if that's the case, then bravo. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, it is hard to have a business and to try and hire your family because you know what they say, ain't no effing like a family effing, you know, because family is the first to mess over you
Oh, I've
when you
never
have a
heard that.
business. Oh, well, I'm old school. But it's the
Miss
truth.
Marvin said they
Family
wanted
is
a
the first
spin-off
that will,
show.
yeah, family is the first that will mess over you. When you have a business, expecting them, you paying them to do a certain job, and they sit there and slack because they figure, oh, well, I'm not gonna get fired.
Yeah. Well, I wish them well. But did you also notice? I don't know whether I'm just the one. Did you also notice that Stormy? It seems like Stormy was not in this reunion. Her her face, everything was giving. I just want to let it just be done. Let me just. I don't know whether maybe the dress was too just tight on her. I don't know, but it just she was giving the feels like I just have to sit here because of my contract.
Yeah, I think she was just disenchanted, probably stemming from the Tisha incident and then the situation with the mom. Yeah, she did look not too happy.
Yeah. She looked as if she had, zoomed off. She was no longer in this reunion. She was no longer in this reunion. And I felt bad for her. I did feel bad for her. But I hope that next season will be better for her. Maybe she will learn from some mistakes. Let's move on to the Fletchers. I was happy for the Fletchers this season, but before we talk about what happens to the Fletchers this reunion, how did you feel about Carlos asking them about the cheating stuff when it did not happen on the show? We didn't get to experience it on the show. It happened before, way before the show. We only got to know about that because they decided to, divulge the information because of Melody and Martel's situation. Did you feel it was necessary for it to be asked in the reunion since that didn't really happen on the show? Because for me, I felt like it was not necessary because it was not on the show. We didn't get to see it on the show play out. So I didn't need the information of, what happened, where did you get who did you find how did you find out how this person was cheating? Was it numerous women? I didn't understand that line of questioning from Carlos because it was unnecessary. It was not on the show.
Right. Well, first off, I want to let's go back a minute. Let's go back to when Letitia and then we're having the little date night with the Fletchers, Letitia
Yeah.
and Marsau, right? Letitia asked that question. Now, I want to say, why, Letitia? Why did you ask that question? Like, are you starting to think and feel deep down in your soul that your spouse possibly could be cheating all this time? You know what I'm saying? Why did she
Yeah.
ask that question? That's what I want to know. Out of all the questions she could have asked Nell, you know, like, why did she ask that? Why did she pick that specific question? So that's how basically all this got on in this past season is because Letitia brought it up and asked in front of millions of people, you know, and that she could have asked off camera. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to think about a hurtful situation between them and their spouse that broke them up. You know what I'm saying? So, and then as far as Carlos, Carlos is just messy. He is. Like, that's none of your business, Carlos. That happened a while ago, Carlos. You know, when we didn't even know the Fletchers. But he just wants to get more ratings for his shit. By opening up old wounds. So I thought that was kind of tacky. I didn't even want to hear the answers. You know what I'm saying? Because you could tell the way when he, he asked Mel that question, that you seen her face.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable. And you're right. It was not on the show other than when Tisha asked that question. So if
Yeah.
there was some follow up with that story, we did not get it this season. And yeah, it was very uncomfortable for him to ask that. And Chris doesn't talk.
He
Nah,
doesn't. Oh my god.
nah. We know who wear the pants now. Come on. Because she said
And
she had to back that ass up against the wall to get her answers.
did you see the way that Marsau called him a sexist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marcel.
He
I
always
was
try to
like,
start shit.
really? Like when the scenario he gave, how is that being that? Because he didn't give me that. You saw me wearing a polo with my cleaning company's logo or whatever, and you asked me, "Do you have a cleaning company?" I said, "Oh yeah, I've had it for so many years." How did that transpire to? Oh, he didn't tell me about my wife's business. Did you ask me about my wife's business and I didn't tell you? That should have been what. I don't know why Chris was quiet, because that's what I would have asked. You calling me that word doesn't make sense, because if you had asked me about my wife's business and I didn't respond to you, then that would have been a different thing. Does even Marsau himself, does he go around saying, "Oh, for so everybody admits, oh, my wife has a degree in this. My wife does this. She's did this. She's the CEO of this." You don't. You only answer when you have been asked.
Yeah,
So the
only
way
thing.
Chris kept quiet it was not, like I would have gone hard without that utterance. Like, why would you say that? The scenario was not at all in that way.
Yeah, all the guys are messy. Marcel is the messiest one of all. I don't know. So sometimes, him and Martel are neck and neck, with their little messiness. You know, he's a shit starter. Wherever he can throw a rock and hide his hands, he's going to do that, you know? So he was doing that all through the reunion, saying little slick shit and I don't like that kind of stuff from a guy. I don't. I expect that little tedious bull crap from a female. You know what I'm saying? Not from a dude. You know. So it was just him being messy. Him wanting validation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because he has a big ego. He does. All the men on there have a big ego. I haven't seen Chris's ego yet, you know, but like his wife Nell was saying, he that Martell reminds her of how he used to be.
Yes, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, you could kind of see it. He's attractive,
He is
older
attractive.
gentleman. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? And you could kind of see it. You know what I'm saying? So beauty is only skin deep. Handsomeness is only skin deep. It's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
in the
yeah.
inside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they got big egos there. Those guys on that stage. I'm glad Chris done calmed his down because he ain't trying to lose what he done built. You know, he learned his lesson. you know, the one hopefully the other three will learn. Speaking of the three M's.
Right. Yeah.
No, because Courtney is cool. He's
Yeah, he
laid
didn't
back.
say much. Yeah, he doesn't need to
No,
say anything. Yeah.
yeah,
His
he's
ego
laid
seems
back.
to be intact.
Yeah, he's laid back. Why argue with pigeons when you're an eagle?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's just Chris for us. Probably she has tamed him down so much that he doesn't like talking again. um, but at some time, I feel like you should you should say something. Especially when they called him out on the way he spoke about when Martel was kind of disrespectful to his wife. Um, and I didn't even know that him and Melody had had that conversation before, that he should not allow that. Because yes, because we're friends doesn't give you the right to disrespect me. There should still be boundaries to friendship. There should still be boundaries to friendship. And the fact that you're all married, and I don't just know. Like, and Martel said the both of them owe each other an apology. See, Martel, ooh, one thing about Martel that I realized, I'm just gonna drop you here. We're gonna talk about him later on. But one thing I realized about Martel this reunion, and I said it, I did a YouTube show that I said it. I said, Martel, you can't just defend that guy. Because no matter how you defend him, he finds one way to just make you feel as if your defense was just a useless one. He just turns around. If you're a lawyer to Martel when you're on a case, I think as a lawyer you'll be frustrated with Martel, because Martel will be the one himself to sabotage his game or his case by himself. Yes.
Jeez. I
His
don't know.
mommy said
I seen
Martel
his
has some
heart.
debt on Chris. Really? Mm, I don't think. Well, who knows?
Mhm.
You're saying something.
Well, I was just gonna say that this reunion, I seen a lot of Martell acting out. He did and storming off, and he is out of control. He doesn't know what the heck to do with himself anymore. You know, I'm starting to feel bad for him. Because his bad decision is ruining his life.
You said you're
you
starting
know,
to feel bad for him.
yeah. It's like he lost himself. He don't know who he is anymore. You know, and
Yeah,
notice
he
every time he talks to Melody, he's always in her face. You know, I mean, he looks at her eyes, her body movement. I mean, he just, oh boy, he is the number one fan.
Not the number one fan.
Yes, he
Wow.
is. Yes, he is. He's everything Melanie. It's all about her. You know, because he done messed up. So he can't get it together. He's falling apart. Seriously. Now I'm gonna pray for him.
And the fact that why I said that Martel I think he's the one sabotaging himself, because they did talk about Houston and the woman he brought. Like, why is it that anytime? Like, that's why I say he cannot be defended. Like, if you try and defend him and be like, okay, Martel is just misunderstood, he finds a way to make you feel like, yeah, you just wasted your effort. Because what kind of lie is that? That she came to she's a masseuse. Like, no table. Did that look like a masseuse to you? Because she had a shirt tied to her waist. Really?
Oh shit! I'm laughing because of what Mar Maurice said that she was climbing over the fence
Oh my god. I was
because they
like,
didn't have
I
the
can't
code.
tell. Why is it that I feel like he's a single guy, right? You said you were single. You get it. You don't have any obligations to be faithful to anybody. If you did bring a lady, why don't you just say I did? So, huh,
But
nobody's gonna beat you up. Nobody's gonna do anything to you.
except for
So,
Ariane, because if they actually really married, uh, then that's something for her to be bringing up. He's gonna have babies in every city if he don't stop that.
oh no.
Seriously, because I'm pretty sure these girls is out to get a paycheck. That's gonna last for 18 years. So you better watch that. I'm telling you, quit laying down with all these people.
Man, like the lies he was trying to tell, even truthfully, everybody on this couch knew he was lying through his teeth. I don't know, there's sometimes you would lie, you would look across the room and be like, okay, everybody knows I'm lying. Let me just say the truth. But Martel sticks with the lie, like he's gonna die on that lie. He doesn't care if everybody already found out the truth. That lie is the lie. He's sticking with it because Maurice knew he was lying. That was not he didn't call for a massage. Marsau knew that was a lie. That was not for a massage. Even Melody. And I want to ask, what is Kimmy's problem? If someone could please enlighten me, what is Kimmy's problem? Sometimes she just talks at the wrong time. Why did she need to impute that Melody also had a massage? Why?
Especially when she was like she didn't care about anybody bringing extra people up in the crib. You know, she Kimmy just gets on my nerves. Like Kimmy, just stop it. And she didn't even look happy to be there, really.
Because they didn't have anything. They were literally
No, she
just
did.
um sitting down on the couch. Did they have anything to do in this reunion? They only had one segment.
The
No,
libido.
yeah,
Oh God, I like the way you said that libido.
Yes, that we cannot have that again. But maybe they're going to be talking about their restaurant this season coming up because they bought that restaurant, that building. So that would be a much better storyline for them than that stuff. That was just so bad. I'm wondering who are they trying to appeal to? I guess they probably thought that there were women who were watching the show who were having the same issues and that, let's keep talking about this. But nobody wanted to hear it. I have
I
yet to
don't
see
want
a
to know
comment
what
where
you're doing in your bedroom.
right. I have yet to read a comment where someone was just itching. Oh, I can't wait to hear Maurice and Kimmy talk about their libido issues. Nobody's talking about that. So they could have just kept them off, but I guess they were obligated to be there. But at least
Yeah,
Maurice was making some faces.
Kimmy was just like, mm. I didn't just understand why she had to say that. And I love the way Melody was like, don't use my own story to tell your lies. Like when she was like she has an app where she orders for a masseuse whenever she travels. And Martell was like, yeah, that's same. I'm like, what at all? I don't know, sometimes he gives me baby vibes, childish
Yeah.
vibes.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to be like, does this guy know what he's saying? Is he in a confused state? Is he even aware of his environment? Then I usually ask. Because Why would you stick to a lie that you know that is an obvious lie, that everybody knows that is an obvious lie, and you're still sticking with it? Like, he acts like a child, and that's why I say sometimes he's the one that sabotages himself. Like, he has been given a lot of chances to like come clean, then live your life, no matter who you want to spend it with. I don't think anybody will care. I don't care, but at least be honest with yourself. Don't try to live a life and be in a place or in a state where you know is a lie, but because you want to live a certain kind of lie, you do that. It doesn't make sense to me
I
at
don't
all.
know. He kind of reminds me of a runaway kid, like when your parents go to sleep and you sneak out the window and stuff and you go out and you party like ain't nobody's business. And then you get ready to sneak back in and you bust it, right? And then your parents say, hey, you almost 18, so you might as well get your ass on out because you was already out, right? Now he's crying to come back home. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me of a big ass kid. He don't know what to do with himself. He's out there and he's free, and he just doesn't know what to do with himself. He hasn't tried to rebrand himself or think
Yeah, I think that's
new.
the problem.
Yeah. It's like Melody was that motivation for him. She was his peace. You know what I'm saying? She gave him all the bright ideas. You know, let's do this, but I'm going to need you to put your back into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's some people like that are supposed to be in our life. There's some
Yeah.
people that are just supposed to be that push. You don't have to be perfect. I have a friend of mine. He's always like calling me and be like, "Please try to call me every week because every week when you call me, you always push me to do something better for myself."
Right.
And you always make me know that, guy, you're really really you're supposed to be in this extent, but you're not there because of your laziness and whatnot. He likes me always being that push. So
Mhm.
it's not a bad thing if Melody was a push in his life, but I think now he should learn to stand on his own.
Yeah, but see, now he looks for that in every woman, and every woman doesn't have that quality. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because every woman is like, oh, you a star. You a star. I'm a leech. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to let you do and run in and out of my life. I'm going to let you, run havoc over here, you know, because you a star. you know? So, yeah, he's not getting that from anybody.
But so many
Yeah,
people were saying that he wasn't honest about the lady that he brought to Houston because he wasn't trying to offend Arion. Oh, that's the side chick. Oh, he's main chick now. He just says main chick. He wasn't trying to offend her. But I don't know. I don't think that would be the reason. Do you also think that's your reality, that the reason why he was trying to deny whatever he had was because he wasn't trying to offset her?
I don't think that person stayed there long because I was looking at the video and the person, 'cause people who
He said
helped
one
me,
hour.
huh?
He
Oh, he
said
said
she
an
stayed
hour and a
one
half.
hour.
But if you take a
Yeah.
look at the video, the way she's dressed when she goes down the hall is exactly the same way as she's going back out. The purse is on the same shoulder. The shirt is tied the same way. I think that person just came to drop off something and leave. I don't think that they stayed there. I think that they were trying to make it into something. And since we didn't see the subsequent episodes of the Houston trip, because they went out to dinner, and I think it was brought up at dinner. I think Maurice brought it up. I think that they were trying to make it into a storyline for him that he had somebody come through there. Allegedly, that's all, my own opinion of it. Because if you get a chance, take a look at the video. She was dressed exactly the same way. For somebody who had stayed an hour and a half, your shirt is tied exactly the same way. Your purse is on the same shoulder. You don't look disheveled at all. It's just really unusual for a person to look exactly the same way as when they came in. So I don't think that the person stayed there. I don't think it was a massage therapist. I think it may have been somebody who worked for the show. They're holding a paper bag. It looked like it could be a McDonald's bag. So perhaps they just came to drop off some food or drop off something and walked back out. That's just my opinion. But I think that they were just trying to develop it into something
The
because what
storyline
else
for
do
him
we,
because
yeah, because what else do
he
we
had
have
a
going
storyline.
on? He had nothing else going other than building, and we saw that plot of land and him trying to put the sign. And
Yeah,
remember, he was missing from at least two episodes, maybe even three episodes. He wasn't even shown this season, at least
even the
twice.
episodes he was in, he was like breeze in, breeze out. You know,
Right, right.
You
so just the breeze in, breeze out
said
moments.
an hour and a half, but he had also said something. Well, I didn't need that much time.
Yeah,
Okay, I get it.
I think
I get
like
it.
his
It
ego.
don't take long to have an orgasm.
But he said he didn't have one the whole time he was there.
Okay, he's a
Yeah.
liar. He's lying. He can't even fix his mouth to say that right. He lying. He is
Liar.
lying.
Oh my god. Martel is a funny. I mean, Martel is a funny guy.
He
Like, he's a very
is.
funny guy. He just hasn't find the right, you know, perspective in life. And I feel so bad for him because he be making some bad choices.
So
And you
now
just
you
look at
feel
it
so
like,
now you feel bad for him too. So now both of you guys are around here feeling bad for this man. I feel so bad for Martell.
Well, I feel bad in the sense that he's lost and confused. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I just think he's
Not
lost and
like bad that
confused.
I do care for him. Just like bad, like you're looking at him and you're being like, ah, doesn't he have friends? Doesn't he have advisors?
Yeah, but his
Yeah,
friends are snakes
that's the
too.
kind of feeling I have for him.
His friends are snakes too. He's hiding all their secrets.
That's the feeling I have for him because I believe, when you look at someone, the way they behave, the way they move, you'll be like, oh, would this person that made this move if he had a friend and a good friend for that matter and being like, oh, you were making the wrongest move ever. But you just see him make some moves and you'll be like, I can't deal with this movement he's doing. I don't know whether you heard about this shop reality, but yes. Okay, when the episode after the episode dropped, did you see that um that's live with Tasha K?
I did see that.
Mm,
That is gonna be something. And as it's such a coincidence because I was rewatching the interview with Arion. Just for whatever reason, I just wanted to watch it. And then that came out. I'm like, OMG, what a coincidence.
no,
Okay,
do you know
I'm not
when I
privy. Fill me in.
oh okay do you know Tasha K?
No.
Oh, she's a very
What? You
big
hiding under a
YouTuber.
rock?
Wow. A very big
You know who
YouTuber,
that
and
is. Come on.
Wait a minute. Say the name
she's
again. Who
Tasha
is
K.
this? No, I'm sorry. I'm not privy. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Who doesn't know Tasha K? Like, she's messier than the mess itself.
Come
When
on,
it
living
comes
for
to
my
the
girls. You know who that is.
No, send me
Do
a
you
link
watch
to it.
YouTube? Do you watch YouTube?
Yeah, I do.
Did you hear about like the Cardi B and her suing a blogger?
Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll be watching the wrong stuff on YouTube, girl.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't. Well,
when
did you
you
see
know
that interview? Did you see Ariane being interviewed a couple years ago?
yes.
Well, I watched several of her interviews and her rants.
Oh,
Oh, probably you really don't know her. Probably you should go check on her, Tasha K. She's a very big YouTuber and messy. She brings out the mess.
Okay,
When there
well,
is mess, she's
when
there.
you guys send me the link to her so I can check her out.
And so when, like I was saying, right, when I saw that video, when I saw that live, I was like, oh no. I didn't even know I was kept on saying, oh no, oh no, when I was holding my phone. I was like, oh no, not Martell, no. Why would you do this? Like, why? When I heard that he brought receipts, he brought video evidence, I was like, oh no, no, no. Why? It's been 4 years. 4 good years. Why should you be doing interview now, being like, I'll tell the truth of everything that has been happening? Like, move on. She didn't steal your money. She didn't do anything bad to any of your family members. So why do I want to hear about the 4 years storyline? And when he said, you know what piqued my, my interest was when he said I have video evidence. I'm like, what video evidence does Martel have, for God's sake? What video
That's
evidence?
a good
Let it
point.
not be what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
oh, right. I just thought about that. No, maybe he's talking about something else.
I hope it is. I really hope it is. And one thing I know about Tasha K, she would post that shit. She's gonna post it.
And he was dressed like a burglar, like an old fashioned burglar.
A lot of people were in the comment section, and I don't know anything about her. The way she was praising the wine, all of a sudden, like, oh, his wine, I love it. I'm like, really, Tasha K? All this years you've interviewed Martel before. Okay, you've heard about Martel before. You guys have been on talking terms on phone, and you've never taken his wine. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, I've taken 3 bottles. Like, really, stop lying. But when I saw that, that is what I said. I think to myself, does Martel really have friends? Because if he had good friends on his side, friends that can tell him the truth, I don't think he would make that move of going. I thought they said he had a gag, they have a gag order not to talk about anything, right? Or am I mistaken?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
anything about
she
that.
said it. She was going to say that Martel told her there was a gag order on for him not to say or this.
Oh, well, maybe he's going to talk about other stuff, just anything to just make her look bad. That's the whole point. So, like you said, 4 years ago, I guess maybe he's
Oh
just going to
yes.
present some
I
evidence.
I am tired. Like, even Carlos had to say we've been doing this for how many years now?
But you know what? But he said that. But then I thought, what would the show be about if it was not that just the idea of the two of them clashing at some point during the season? I mean, what else would there be? Because it's like they build it up, build it up, build it up. You know, the season starts off, they're doing their separate things, and then sometime during the season, the two are going to
They
come
just
together and clash.
clash.
And to be honest, I mean, I think we all enjoy seeing that. You know, we say, oh, we're sick of him. Why don't he leave her alone? But it's just like, what else do we have to look forward to? Like, even with this reunion, we were waiting to see when the two of them were going to talk. And otherwise, what else is there other than Marsau and Tisha? I know people don't care to see their lives. We don't want to hear about the libido. The KeKe thing fell flat. So what else is there
Yeah.
other than finally these two, the clash of the titans, they're finally going to come together and they're going to argue. So it's like, are we
I
really tired of seeing the arguments or not?
the, the fact is that I could understand if you're doing it for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand if you're doing it for the reunion. But now you have a recent arrest, you have a recent court case, and the next thing you want to do is go to the messiest of the mess of
Not
YouTube
the mess.
bloggers.
Describe it again. Describe.
You go to her and you're like, I want to bring out everything. Now, people's question will be, I don't know whether this, why I say sometimes I pity him, and at the end of the day, to just be like, your pity is in vain. You just be like, wow, it's just a lost cause. Because I don't know whether he doesn't reason. His kids will watch these things he's saying.
Right. That's right.
They would see these things. Who even knows whether they don't even sneak up, who they sneak up on their phones and they're watching this YouTube and they're even watching it right now in real time.
And you just made a good point because I don't know if you guys notice this, like with and I don't know if it's the same thing where you are, Uzo, but sometimes if we have conversations about something, then all of a sudden those types of commercials start appearing on our TVs that have, okay,
Exactly.
so like with the kids, I mean, maybe they are just watching, doing Roblox or whatever it is that they're doing, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden this, or if they're on YouTube watching Coco Melon or whatever, I don't think I'm sure they have parental controls, or they should on the YouTube. But let's say they're
Mhm.
borrowing somebody else's device to,
That's what I'm saying.
yes, and then a
Because we
video
don't know
pops
what
up and
kids
you see
do.
your mom. Say that again.
Because we don't know what the kids do when they're away from you. They might borrow their phone,
Right.
their friends' phones, and the rest.
Exactly. And then like right now, a video pops up of your parents, and they can read. So
Mhm.
yes,
Wow.
hopefully that doesn't happen, but it could.
And the
Yeah.
way, did you see the happiness in Tasha K's eyes? Like,
No, I didn't.
she was ready to go deep. She's like, yeah. This is the first time. Let's be realistic. This is the first time Tasha K has gone live unannounced.
Wait a minute. Did you say you could see the what in her eyes?
The joy, the happiness in her
Jeez.
eyes.
Mm.
She was like, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, I don't know.
Does
That's
she?
that's why
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's why I feel like he himself sabotages himself because this can be used against him. Who knows?
Yeah,
Then
good point.
tomorrow will become liar. You're out here ruining my life. You're out here making me the villain. No, you make yourself the villain by yourself.
Well,
I
I
wonder how
like.
Carlos will
I,
be feeling.
I don't know, but I
You said?
like seeing those two together. You know, um, I can do without the arguing. My whole thing is when they come together, I just want to see if there's any growth in him. You know what I'm saying? I never see the growth. He's always backpedaling 3 years back, 5 years back. You know, I just want to see him grow.
You cheated on me. You cheated on me.
Yeah. I just want to see him grow. I just want to see him do something other than, you know, torture somebody who he's wrong.
Yep. I was
Because
watching. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's
Go
not
ahead.
making sense.
No, and I just can't ever forget that scene at the Fletchers. She satisfies me. Remember how he had the nerve to say that?
Yeah.
She satisfies me.
Yeah.
I just, you know what, it would be great for Martel. One, if he has good friends that can talk to him and stand their ground, not shaky. There are some friends that would shake when they're trying to talk to you. Those ones that will stand firm on their opinions and let you know what their opinions are. If you could have that kind of friends and let those friends would be like, guy, stop.
Well,
First thing I would, if I,
he has that uncle who seems to be very firm with him. Remember the one who called him out when they at the wine thing at the house in
yeah,
Atlanta? That uncle seems
yeah.
like he doesn't play.
If I was a friend of Martel, I'll first tell him, guy. My first question will be like, guy, what's the need of this interview you just granted? What is your aim? What do you like? Like, what's your like when you look at your future? What do you see that achieving? Is it gonna make you liked than you were liked? No. Is it gonna make you hated than you were hated already? Probably yes. Is it gonna make people look at you and be like, "Oh my god"? And do you know what I said? I didn't even know that. That reminds me. Do you know when I saw the live? Do you know what I said? It was later. I was like, "What the heck?" I put my hands on my head and I said, "God, please don't let me get married to this kind of person in my life."
Jeez.
I didn't know when I said that. Just when I was done saying it, I was like, "Whoa, it must be deep." Because at that moment, I felt like, how would his ex-wife, be feeling? That even after the divorce, you still have to go through this. year after year. When would it end? Even if let us put it in a way that Melody wants to forgive him, how will she bring herself to forgiving him? How will she bring herself to trusting him again? Sometimes when trust is lost, mm, it's lost. It's hard to get back. And I don't know. And the way he was just, always repeating this, you cheated, you cheated, you cheated. Please, I don't care if Melody cheated on you. I don't care. I don't know. Do you guys care if Melody cheated? Because me, I don't care.
I'll say the score is even, really. If we weren't together, we weren't together.
Mhm.
But there's a difference between when we're together and you sneaking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let me be privy to that information because hey, if you want to get down like that, how you know I don't want to get down like that? You know what I'm saying? Give
Mhm.
me the opportunity to say yes or no. No, don't be sneaky about the shit.
Oh, take a look at Miss Mermaid's comment.
I didn't
The
see it.
latest comment. She needs to respond every time with "and you have." Oh, oh, oh. Wow, that. Oh, and you had a baby. That would have been a great comeback. But I think Melody, and one thing about Melody is that she doesn't want to involve the kids
Or
because,
acknowledge, yeah.
yeah, at the end of the day, the kid is innocent. He's not guilty of whatever thing the parents did. So I feel like she is responsible enough to know that, okay, this kid is innocent. I don't want to be dragging this kid into any more. Already, the kid is already gonna feel different from the other kids because, of course, everybody who doesn't like the M&M kids, everybody does.
Right.
But when it comes to the other kids, some of us don't. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say some of us don't really acknowledge the other kid. A lot of people, viewers, lovers, haters of the show don't even acknowledge the other kid. So he's gonna get no, a lot of he needs a lot of therapy. I'm not gonna lie. That is always hard when your other children, your other, when you're
Well,
getting, you
basically,
don't
he's the
get much love from your,
basically
you
the
said.
baby is a product of adultery.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call it like it is, you know. But yeah, the baby has nothing to do with that, So the baby's gonna need a lot of love, you know, from both of the parents, you know. And it's good that he has the sisters, you know. But Melody, she's not like that. Where she's gonna be bringing that baby over his head, you know. When he gets to
Yeah.
ratting off like that, the only thing she really says is, "You stepped out of this marriage, and
Exactly.
you stepped out during COVID. Like, really?
Yes. And then you know how YouTube's, because like I told you guys, I watched that Kasha K video with Ari. I didn't see the whole thing, but started watching a lot of it. And so then you know how YouTube starts showing you all these shorts. Some of these shorts were
Uh,
so
okay,
old.
I'm sorry. You guys said Tasha K.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen her on. Yeah, okay, all right, all right, all right. I didn't
What
know
did
what
you
you guys were saying. I
what
don't
did
know.
you
It
what
sounded
did,
weird. The name just sounded weird, and I'm like, no, I ain't never. But yes, I've seen all her little interviews and stuff. Some I don't even want to hear about. Some I listen to half of it because it'd be too long, and you know. But yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, you living
I'm
under a
sorry.
rock somewhere. Well, no, just in a
Yes.
nutshell, just seeing her, these are like very old from years ago. Like, I'm just thinking, like, this is the person that he just could not get enough of. There was like some YouTube short of her trying on some clothes. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. She's got a rack of clothes behind her. She's got on something pink. And she's just, I'm just thinking, like, this is who you gave all this up for. Like, wow, I was just like, I just can't understand it. I don't understand. Like, what is it about this woman?
Sometimes they don't reason that. They just, at that moment, what I'm getting from them, sometimes they don't really reason. Most times they don't.
I guess we
So
would need to hear a
I
man's perspective.
probably, probably, but at the end of the day, I feel like Martel, like I said, he really, I don't use, like you said, he has friends, but I don't think he has good friends. I think he has friends that think like him. That's a different thing. You have friends, and you have friends that think alike like you. When you want to do something, they have that same thought in their head. You have those kind of friends. But you can also have those friends that when you want to make some certain decisions, they'll be like, they're like the sound of reasoning. To be like, I don't think this decision you're going to or this place you're going towards is gonna make sense. I don't think he has those friends that are like a sound of reasoning to him. I think he just has the friends that think alike like him, behave the way he behaves, does things the way he does. And when you have those kind of friends, they will never ever tell you the truth. They would always make you feel like they will always make you feel like you're the good person. You're the best person, you're making the best decision. Because I don't understand, after 4 years after, you want to try to tarnish your ex-wife's name. What would you derive from it? It's not going to bring money to you. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight with it. No. Rather, it might cost you a lot of things. But I think, like Martel does, he doesn't think about the future. He thinks about, what is that thing I'm going to get at this instance, right now, right here, if I do this thing. That's how I think he thinks. Like, what am I going to get if I do this thing right now, right now? That's how I think he does. And it's unfair to himself, it's unfair to his children, it's unfair to Melody. It's also unfair. Well, it's also unfair to his new chic girlfriend, or whatever he wants to call it. I feel it's unfair to everybody. Because even if I am with somebody, yes, you left your wife for me, and every single day, I have this constant remembrance, or you always remember your ex. It's not fair. It's not fair. At the end of the day, I didn't get anything. And I feel like every day Martel makes the situation a constant remembrance to Melody. Melody this, Melody that, Melody that, Melody this, Melody this. How is it the other lady? How will she be feeling? Let's say yes, the offense has been committed. They committed adultery. Yes, it's over with now. But how is it fair to her that every day she gets to hear Melody's name from Martel's mouth every single time? He's always trying to either tarnish Melody's name. He's always trying to make Melody in one way. If he's not trying to tarnish her name, he's trying to reconcile with her. How is that making her feel? Because she just be like, yeah, at the end of the day, what did I win? What what did I gain? You want to say something, short, right?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, so anyway, let's move on from Martel and Melody. Let's move on to KeKe and her cousin. See, I'm just gonna say something. they both need Jesus in their life. Because I don't understand this beef you could have for your cousin. I know family can be a big thing. I do know that yes, I have some kind of issues with some of my family members, not to this extent. Not to this extent. Like she even said that yes, Tisha was supposed to. Did you guys hear that part that Tisha was supposed to bring her on the show, but later as she changed her mind?
Yes. KeKe said it. It
Why?
was always the plan for her to bring me on. I was like, ooh.
So what was the point of contact that the change happened? Why did you go back on your plans?
I guess they
And
had a falling out in between, perhaps.
and, and I didn't like the way Masao. Okay, let's talk about the part when Masao was like, when she was like, the reason why I didn't want her to come was because there was some things she was going through in her personal life that I didn't want, I didn't want it to be exposed on reality TV. And she was like, the only thing that was going on in my life was my alleged drug use and my marriage infidelity. That's the only thing. And I came forth with those things. I stood on my business. I'm gonna say this is how it is. What other thing in my life is that bad? And Martel was like, oh, Marcel said there were three things. And I'm like, Marcel, okay, Marcel, say what is the third thing? And it's like, oh, I've never come on the show to expose any other person. I'm like, really? Why did you have to tell us that there were three things and you can't just tell us the third thing? And I felt like that was, for me, that was just bullocks. That was rubbish. I felt he just wanted to agitate her because it seems like they were trying to rile her up. I don't know if any other person felt like that, but I did feel like they were trying to piss her off. Probably she was going to act out. I think they were trying to goad her into doing something, you know, very bad because she already said that when I get pissed off, I act out. So I think like that was their purpose. Let's say hurtful things. Let's say lies. Let's say painful things because I do like KeKe. You get so, and I felt like that was what the energy that Marsau and his wife Natasha was giving off. I want to make her pissed off. I want to do things to make her react in a way we'll be like, yes, I did say it. She's on drugs. Yes, we said it. She's on drugs. That she's really on drugs. That's how I did feel about what Marsau was doing. Because if you were being truthful, you should have said the third thing. Because she was like, yeah, say the third thing. I'm open to you saying it. I don't care. After all, you've exposed my husband and I cheating on each other. What more can be worse than that? And I've been on Crime Stoppers. I've been on drugs. What else can be worse than that?
Well, they say it's a third thing. Isn't that what Marceau or Martel, one of them said it's another thing too?
Exactly. She said it was the third thing. Like I wanted to hear the third thing. I don't know whether you didn't want to hear the third thing. I did. Hey, Berlin.
Hey, everybody. Hey, good to see you, ladies. Hey, chat. This was a part three, my lord. I mean, honestly, like at this point, if you're going to say something, then just say it. Like, it's really no point in dragging out to another storyline unless you don't have any storyline that's valuable to the audience. And truly, I think what this season shows, season 6B shows rather, is that this show is almost busting out the seams. You know how for guys that if there's a woman in a dress and all the curves are hidden right, but you see that one part of the dress is about to pop, you hope it doesn't pop, but if it does, you can't look away. That's kind of like this. We still watch the show, but at some time this show needs some alterations because I don't know how many times we can keep seeing the same collection of bullish out for sale. So that's just me.
Good point, because you're right. It is the same thing, just recycled story or the same story that someone had last season. Now this person's going to hop on it. The same rumors, and like then they bring on this new character, KeKe, and unfortunately, that didn't pan out too well. And then there are some things that we didn't get a chance to see, like the Houston trip. I wanted to see some of the footage that we didn't get to see. I think it may have helped. Well, maybe it wouldn't. I was going to say maybe it resolved some things, but maybe we don't know what it would have resolved. But yeah, good point.
I didn't like the way they were like, I'm gonna see you, whatever. Like I just felt like it was unnecessary. It was just too much all over the place. And Latisha and her husband can just take several seats for me. Several. Several. Um, moving on. The last topic for today. This pregnancy stuff. Like this
Oh
man sat
no.
on this couch and still repeated the nonsense from his mouth, saying, "Oh, I feel that there's a possibility." As he was trying to play English words with us. There's this what was he saying? Is it possibility and probability? I've forgotten the words
Capa-
he was trying to
cap-
play.
capability versus probability.
Oh yes. I'm like, please, after all the rumors and everything that has been said about you, this lady is she's stuck by you and did not move. And the only time she decides to, oh, yeah, I guess I'm gonna act out and say, okay, probably I'm pregnant. Yeah, for a storyline, you'd be like, oh, yeah, she's cheating. And you get that part when Melody said, oh, okay, so even if she was pregnant, would you have left her? And he did say yes. Did you guys get that part?
Yeah, I did. And
Mhm.
honestly, it's just like, I know I'm not the best individual in the world, but when I would watch Super Nanny, I would know everything that I would be whooped for automatically. And so when he said, "Does Tisha have a V and a mouth?" I'm just like, well, you got a D in a mouth, and there's been rumors about you for how long? So I guess it's probable that both of y'all can step out. Like, why? Just okay. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. I'm just like, now I'm 29 years old, ain't on the show, but I know good to damn well if I were to say that about my wife, just because my mama is grown don't mean she can't whoop. Okay, I did no.
Yeah, that was foul for him to say that. I mean, seriously, this is your wife, you know, and I know if I would have been in that seat, that little chocolate M&M sitting next to me, I would have attacked it with a fist. And it would have been so quick and so swift and so hard. And if I didn't do that, that elbow that's right there would have been all up in his side. Because you basically you're saying I'm a hoe. I'm a housewife, educated hoe. That don't sit well with me. So I don't see how she was that calm.
Oh, the calmness for me. The
But
fact is,
like I said,
I
she ain't about that life. She ain't
mm,
about that life because
like I said, I in the video I did earlier on, I said one thing I noticed is that I said it about Martel and Latisha. They would hold every other person accountable except themselves.
true.
Everybody has to be accountable for every action, every move, everything. But when it comes to them themselves, they'll be like, okay, okay. So if you want to ask every other person to be accountable for every action they make sure you yourself is accountable for every action you yourself you do and you take. Simple. But they can't do that because the way I felt so like she didn't want to take disrespect from every other person on this couch, but she was ready to take disrespect from her own husband, saying those kind of words to her. That was besides me. That was besides me. And she was even laughing. Like, what's so funny about that? It's
She
not
ain't gonna.
funny.
She's not gonna bust a grape. You know what I'm saying? She will never leave this man, even if she found the evidence. You know, she's not
No,
going
she
anywhere.
said if she found the evidence.
Oh yeah,
She
right,
said she's
right, right. Sure. You know, if evidence walked into her house in her hand, she still ain't gonna do nothing. She's gonna stay with this
oh
man. You know, it's like a person who, once you get with somebody, some people they don't want to move on because they don't want to get to know another person all over again. So you just stay
yeah.
with the old dead shoe that you with, and you try and fix the shoe and crazy glue it back together so you can walk in it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, I don't get it. I don't get it. But you know, hey, it's not my life that's on reality TV. You know, because if it is, y'all be like, okay, she's crazy. She got issues. No, I I have values. You know, and I'm not laying my shit down for nobody.
Oh wow. Anyways, we've literally come to the end. This is the final video for now on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, the reunion was interesting in general. I did enjoy everything about the reunion. I did enjoy everything that happened on the reunion. So I'm happy that we're finally over it. And let's just look up to what is going to happen in the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I hope it's better storyline. Um, I think I might really like new couples coming into the show. It wouldn't be bad if we have like 2 or 3 more couples on the show, so that the stories will be revolving. It's not gonna be like a stagnant, like storyline amongst in all the individuals. So I literally would love for there to be new couples. Is there anybody that has any takeaway about how the new season should be?
You
Don't
know,
come
I feel like honestly, and I think other people have said this. This could have been a season 7 for completion. Um, I feel like they need to expand the scope of what love is about. What's the love of travel? What's the love of entrepreneurship? What's the love of your mental health? What's the love of, trying to bring family back together? Because love has levels to it, just like marriage does.
Right.
And so I think sometimes and it's difficult because you want a show to sustain on your network, but how it sustains depends on the people. So you can't make a show that's too in favor of the people. You can't make a show that's too in favor of the network. But what I do hope is that they recognize that the real that we're wanting, if you just put what is real on the screen and allow the stories to breathe, you'll get real content. That's the thing that I think sometimes boggles my mind. It's just like all these people have all these facets. Dig into the range of the spectrum of it. But I think at the beginning, middle, end of the day, if they don't have the responsibility of what has happened with what Martel has done being arrested, um, I'm not saying the show is going to end, but it's better for them to handle themselves before they get handled and own these content desperately. So
Great point. I was just going to offer also in a nutshell that most of the action seems to take place off the screen with the content creators creating the content. That's kind of what keeps me engaged watching the show. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't watch it at this point because it's like even with the reunion, yes, it was good. I enjoyed it, but the season itself was not very good. If it was not, well, it wasn't very good, but the content creators, them reporting what they're reporting, it just kind of just continues to draw me in or suck me in and keeps me watching the show. Like with Potomac, I'm a Potomac fan, but it is so boring. And I usually watch Potomac. I will rewatch the episodes. I didn't even rewatch the last 2 episodes. And the last episode, I watched it on YouTube, a little bootleg version, because the show is just so mundane and it's uninteresting this season. But in regards to Love and Marriage Huntsville, most of the action takes place off of the screen because of the content creators and their lives that they go on, the stories that they post. It keeps us engaged. Like, think about it. The show ended last night, and there's more content that has already been created about the goings on outside of the show already. So if it wasn't for the content creators, where would that show be? And I'm sure OWN must appreciate that at this point. That, hey, they have to realize. I'm sure Carlos realizes that the content creators on YouTube are the driving force of this show at this point. If it wasn't for them, would people still be watching it? Would people still be engaged to see if what's being reported on YouTube are they going to talk about it on the show? Is it going to come out? That story that person mentioned, did that really happen? The little comments that people drop, like the viewer who dropped about why the cousin was sitting there, someone just posted that, just like the rest of you viewers watching today. Someone posted that last week, and sure enough, that's actually what happened. So it's just kind of just makes you wonder, if it wasn't for the content creators, where would this show be? But like you mentioned, the network does need content. It's the highest rated show on that network. I don't watch any other shows. I do watch DC, but other than that, I don't watch Ready to Love or any of those other shows. That's it.
Yeah, and my hope basically for the new season is that, as Braylon Lee said, you know, put some fresh air up in it because it's starting to get stale. You know what I'm saying? Bring some new people in. There has to be more entrepreneurs out there that are Black and intelligent, married couples, you know, out there in Huntsville besides those six. You know, like, just give us something new.
Yeah. Well, I hope they will do all that in the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before that, we're gonna just have to wait and enjoy Love and Marriage DC. I can't wait for that to come back. I've been anticipating that. So I can't wait for Love and Marriage to come back. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching right now. Don't forget to click on the subscription button down below. We have Shop Reality TV right here. We have Braylon Lee right here. You can just take our names and go on YouTube and click on the subscription button down below, subscribe. And also make sure you watch our content, guys, because I know that every one of us here, we put out amazing content and content. And if you also subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Unfiltered Uzo, we see you guys on another panel chat. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.